Hello, good morning, friends. Today onwards, we will start the new topic that is the CICS. What it means CICS is a CICS nothing but customer information control system. And what is the CICS? Like each department having different purpose of the this CICS will use and business executives will use like it called like a indispensable productive tool, and what is the terminal user they will call like a computer based Java assistant. What the IT management people will do, it will kind like a essential transaction processing middleware. And what our programmers will tell like is it is extensive program application programming interface. And what are the systems will tell like they will define the tables requiring the resource definition and exit program point to particular extended tailor programming. And what is the powerful system programming interface for SQL programs. And what are the main operations team will do like a CSS regions they will create for independent communicating with each other. And it is a middleware, you can able to see the architecture of the CSS. It will it like act like a middleware from the user and with the system OS 390 system, it like act as a middleware. And CSS is like we can able to create like a two subsystem. It is one we can use like a production, another is for the testing environment. And like these are like main CSS management functions. What are the management function will do, it will like validate the file and it like check the security and system services, and these are the queues. What are the queue support, it like what are the terminals it is having, and what is the recovery, how we can able to do recovery, and what is the programs. And these are like mainly for the CSS management function it will involve. Internally, CSS divided into number of management module which provide the operation system like services for a CSS application programming. The system programmer select and maintain the appropriate module for each installation, and system programmers also create the table entries to define your terminals and files, transaction and programs. Friend, please remember the developer cannot be create the table. Here the system programmer nothing but a DBA. DBA team will create the table entries and define the terminals and files and transaction program. Mostly the some of the interviews they will ask who will create the tables and all, and we will not able to create the transaction ID. Please remember the developer cannot able to create that transaction ID. The only the system programmer nothing but the administrator will create the transaction ID and provide to the developer. And let's start from the concept wise. What is the transaction and versus the task? The transaction associated with the task and it called like direct terminal, and the program it like executable program. And what is the difference between the transaction and task? The transaction nothing but exchange between the terminal and database representing the application process. For example, I am doing an inquiry operations or deposit my money into the bank and balance update. So these are like a transaction. And what is the task? The specific instance of a transaction. This is a unique unit of work. That is nothing but a task, and multiple terminals may invoke the same transaction. How to invoke the transaction? The transaction can be invoked by using four characters, that is called transaction ID. How many characters are there in the transaction ID? Sometimes they ask in the interview like four characters. It can be alphanumeric. Every task has a task control area. But how to initiate the when starting the task? Just now we told like we have to initiate the task by using four transaction ID. That is these are like INQA Q1 nothing but transaction ID, and each transaction ID having control the task contains the task control area. Whenever called like a program A, the program and what is the how the transaction ID and where the relation between transaction ID and the program will be stored, like that is stored in the PCT table. What is the PCT table? Nothing but program control table. This is contain the transaction ID and corresponding the program. uh, yeah, this is like a PCT having this is the transaction ID and corresponding program will stored in PCT table. See, similar like I am doing like an inquiry operation and there's a inquiry transaction ID having corresponding program A, it will registered in the stored in the PCT table. Similar like update is the transaction ID and stored called like a program M and stored in the PCT table. And what is the PPT table? PPT tables also having what is the program like it stored like all programs and the corresponding maps. What is the PPT table? PPT table nothing but processing program table. We can able to see this like a in the PCT table contain I just now I told like it is stored the transaction ID and PPT table it is stored like all programs. In PCT table only the main program and the transaction ID, but in PPT table all programs whatever the transaction ID irrespective of the transaction ID it will store like all programs and the maps. But here I just started one for one of the tasks. Just we will move like a if there are multiple tasks. See, I am doing invoking another task. Here I am doing in INQ1 inquiry. Parallelly, I am doing update. Here, task control area will create for each transaction a task. Here, like two TCA will created, and here I am calling for program A for inquiry and program M for update operation. Similar like here a PCT stored like a transaction ID and the corresponding program, and PPT to store like all programs and what are the maps for the for each program. See, suppose if the 100 users at the terminal they enter the inquiry only, how many transactions would be create there? Assume there are no other activity in our system, so how many tasks would be there? See, parallelly 100 users are there, like 100 users also enter the INQ inquiry transaction. So how many transaction would be there? There are 100 tasks will be created for each user. What will happen if the transaction ID is not having enter? What will happen? The how can we use invoke the task? We can use like a to call like subprogram. This is the main flow of the task flow. You can able to go like this is a flow whenever the how the task flow is working when a terminal user entered terminal control area it will initiate the task, it will validate the task, it will set the request and get control area, get storage and it will pass to schedule task. Then once it is dispatch the task again it will wait for the next operations. This is the mainly for the how the task flow is working. Next move like how the concurrent execution of the program. See, these are like a how the execution of the concurrent execution of the program like a I am invoke just now I call like a TCA will I am doing for inquiry and similar like update how the working storage field will be stored. It will create each TCA for the each separate working storage area and I am giving here the EIB is the execution interface block. What is an EIB? Nothing but a group of field CICS users to communicate with your program. These are like a execution interface fields will be used. So each TCA will having a different working storage field and it will create the EIB fields and it will execute in the program. The program represent the executable instruction of the program. In CSS, the task may concurrently use the same program. That is called a multi-threading. What is the multi-threading? It like a, in CSS, task may concurrently use the same program. The working storage section contains the data items used by program. Task cannot be shared the data items. Each task required one unique set of items. When a task ends, the CICS releases all storage associated with the task. And these are like let me start like how the command syntax of the CICS will work. These are the command syntax for the CICS. First, it like start with the keywords exit CICS. How to identify the in my COBOL program, the CSS program, CSS, it will like having the CSS commands. Just you can type like in the exit CSS in the find command, you will able to see any CSS programs is there. CSS commands are being, and you can able to search by using DFH COM area also in the then you can able to then it like say that it is having the CSS program. And this is the main command format for the CSS. Any CSS command you need to follow this command. It like these are like keywords exit CSS, and what is the function, which function you are going to call, whether send or receive, and these are like options, and these are like argument values. Example, nothing but working story field, how many length you are going to pass. These are like options again. These are like some different options, and an argument you can able to pass the how many length, and this is a terminal delimiter. The argument given should like a bracket. This is fine, and key these are like a CSS, and pre-compiler convert the SQL into the COBOL equivalent. Next, move these are the argument values. Some of the argument values. What is the data value? Half-word binary. What is the half-word binary? How much it will store? S9 of 4 comp, S9 of 8 for the full word binary. And these are like a character string, and this is a packet decimal. What is the format for the packet decimal? CICS command description, CSS application, and the documented format says you must use data area for length argument. Is that okay? Receive into data area and length command. And what is the data types in the CS COBOL? S9 of 4 comp, it is a small int, integer S9 of 8 comp, and decimal field, and this is the character field. How it will store like each of the data types for the CSS. And these are like a basic CSS command. How to, these are like a terminal control commands. Send are like a receive command. What is the send command means? It will display whatever the content we are passing to the CSS command. It display in the COBOL, and receive means we are going to accept the data from the CSS program. And we can able to place the position to the cursor by using send control command. How to format date and time? Formatting command, nothing but by using ask time and format time. How to terminate the CSS program? By using return command. And yeah, we'll go like a few of the commands, like a basic commands, how the it will work. Just now we'll like see a receive command. It will like we are going to accept the data from the here. What is the receive command? And it will accept the data from the program. And this is like a syntax of the CSS. Receive command, receive into a working storage area, and what is the length value we are going to pass. You can able to see what is how the INRA declared here, the INRA, what is the receiving the working storage variable, and what is the length parameter INL, what is the length picture class for the length is S904, usage is comp. These are like a length option. What will happen if the length command length parameter is not coded in a CS program? Default it will take like a maximum the length 80 characters. If you are not able to provide the length option, the system will take automatically the length parameter value. These are the exceptional handling for the CSS program, like a receive into working state available length, and we have to code with the rest option is like to handle the exception conditions. And this is the syntax for the rest option. Rest RCV error, and rest is a command, and to receive the error we have to give like RCV error. To define the RCV error, like a RCV error, we have to define working storage will S9 of 8 comp, and this is a fixed format to receive the error. To handle what are the types error we are going to mention here, to how to handle the error, particular error has been occurred. Define with if RCV error, this is like what is the error you are going to mention here, mention in DFS rest, and length error. Whatever you are going to give here length error, if system match with length error, then it will a particular same error is happened matched condition, then display the error message to the MSG message screen. This is like a resp option in the command directory CICS do not handle exception condition in the for the receive command. Like without resp option, the default action usually to abandon the task is not typically result and defined and suitable for the production program. The program proceeds with a set of statements to check the result of the command execution. If the invalid key is equivalent to kicks nothing but here, but or the I have given invalid nothing but and not found in the CSS. DFH resp is the internal data into the CSS. The exception condition example, these are like some of the example of the single exception checking. If the receive error is equal to TFS refs, length error, and similar like a terminal error. If this is like an EOC, this is a normal character, end of characters, and normal completion of the command. If your system receive command is a normal without having any error codes, then it is like a received normal. If there some receive command normal condition include end of control, end of chain, then we have able to check the any generic error condition for the not normal condition receive not equal to DFH not normal means what is the DFH normal, that like a written code is 0. To validate the generic error condition, we can able to check not equal to 0. And these are like generic error. This is not a generic error condition, guys. Like if the receive error is equal to normal, like we will check normal only we have to use, but it is not like a check a system called exception error. We have to check like a generic error condition, DFH resp of normal. It is not like error. And similar like a receive command, this is like a sending command. I am passing after receiving command. I am passing this error message into the screen, and this is called like a resp from terminal. What are the message I just now received into the MSG1? I am passing into the screen from what working storage variable. This is like you have to mention, and what is the length of the error message you are going to pass here. See here like in VS COBOL 2, the length option we are not coded how many characters would be CICS sent. Default it will send 80 characters. In the length option, particularly if you are mentioning the 40 characters, these are the characters you are going to pass. This length contains the 40 characters. In the MSG1 you have defined the 80 characters. See. Even though if you are defining the length as 40, it will truncated, it will send the C screen only 40 characters. If you are not mentioned the length option in the VS COBOL 2, 80 characters will take. The format of send command, so the argument length, their data value is not a data area. Kicks write the information screen to the beginning of the current cursor location. Here like you are going to pass like what is this means sentence of the means kicks you are going to sending the error message to the screen. You are not mentioned what type of the position you are going to send. Default it will like a sending to the beginning of the screen. That's what you are saying the sentence of the meaning. Beginning of the cursor means this is a screen, whole screen. The cursor will the error message will send from the starting of the screen. Here the screen error message will display if you are not passing any position. How to place the cursor? Like just now previously we are passing the error message. How to play here like it will pass the error message. I am not passing any position of the error message. It will default it will go starting of the page, like starting of the screen. Now I want to place this error message into a particular position of the screen. Just then we have to use like a send here like a input message. You are going to use one more command called like send control cursor. send control cursor. Here I am mention the position of the cursor where you are going to pass this message. 1716. What is 1716? These are like a screen. I am having like a 24 rows and 80 columns. One screen contains the zero, start with the 0 and 79. This is like a whole screen in our CICS. You can able to see the screen, right? And it's like the 0 and 79 in the rows, and these are like a 24 rows and columns. 0 to 79 is the columns and 24 rows. You can able to see rows into columns. 24 rows and 80 columns. It contains, the whole screen contains the 1920 characters. I am passing like a 1716 somewhere. It like come here. You can calculate 1920 and divide where the position, how many characters will contain 1760, at what position will come, means it will come around here. The whole screen having 1920 characters means multiply 24 into 80, you will get 1920 characters. The whole screen contain the 1920 characters. But I am passing this error message at 1760. Then you have to mention like send control cursor position. The position of the cursor where you are going. Then you have to mention the send message from the variable name, the error message what I am going to pass. That length 40 characters and return terminate the, what is the return? I just know previously told it terminate the transaction. See here like these are like some text is there. Send command is coded to place message to at the cursor position location whenever you are going to on the screen. Send command with erase option. There are option will clear the content of the screen and send reposition the cursor to the upper left corner. Means what is the, we can able to use the erase option in the send command, means it clear the screen at like place the cursor at the top of the screen. That's what you are like mentioning upper left corner, and the message again begin at the new cursor position. The example above shows how the position of the cursor to message area by using send control command. I told like here the what is the cursor position we are going to pass it. This is like a UI using a EAB information. Previously it looked like a EAB information. This is the receive command. Till now we came here previous screen. Let's send control command send 1760 and passing the ending of the screen. Here I am using like request terminal. What is the request terminal means? Request is equal to like a particularly I am going to pass like a particular transaction ID. I am going to trigger like INQ1, like inquiry 1. Similar like I want to test if the request parameter is INQ1 or like a string terminal 1. Here I am mentioning the terminal 1. Then if the request is matched, how then we can able to pass this information. Request string is the terminal ID is EAB terminal ID. The terminal ID is nothing but 1001 delimited by size into message 1. Similar like same, I am passing send control cursor command and 80. Now earlier I told earlier one screen having 0 to 77, 0 to 79 one row, and what is an 80 means again it will start from the second line. I am placing my cursor into second line on the first position. That's why I mentioned 80. If I mention here 79 means the cursor will go first line at the end of the screen. But here I mentioned this 80 characters, the cursor will place second row first column. I am sending message 1 and what is the length parameter I am passing here. Length error is happening. See here like previously I given the request error, receive error is equal to DFH length error is happened. Previously I am receiving an screen error message from the screen. That receive command having any error, a particular length error, then only it will execute this paragraph. To check any error, length error, DFH rest equal to length error condition, then only it will pass this error condition. The length error is there, then only it will execute this paragraph. EAV terminal ID nothing but in the CICS identify the terminal that integrate the current task. These are the system information we are going to pass the error message. Now moving to the how to format the date and time into the CICS. These are the commands we will use. CICS terminal, just like previously we told how to request the terminal inquiry. See here the request inquiry or terminal ID. Now the request is the date. What is the date? And I am going to ask like a system defined formatting the date. Ask time, ABS time, these are the commands guys, and TSP timestamp, nothing but these are like a here working storage variable. I have defined already TST timestamp picture 9 of 15 comp 3 to get the system time, and that's why I'm like asking time from ABS time. I'm passing whatever the system time into the working storage field. And formatting time, ABS time again I am formatting a TST time here, a TST time, and a date separator. Like what is the default system, it will take like a date separator. Like I'm going to format the system time into my own data separator. Here I mentioned like a hash and 03, like these are like a system, it will take like input, these are like a system default date format. I want to convert into date format my own system, my own requirement. So I am passing like here date separator is a hyphen. See here whatever the date separator means, whatever the hyphen is there, it will remove and it will format into 230207. Name, date and month and year. These are the system defined format. I am going to reconvert into my own requirement. I am passing here iPhone. You can able to pass your own requirement. You can able to pass a star. It will place the star here instead of iPhone. And this is the format we are going to pass output date and mmddyy outdate format, and you can able to store into working storage variable. That's why outdate. What is an outdate format here? I like a picture x of 8, and whatever formatted date here, whatever you have done format ABS time, TST time stamp, and move into the DD, and these are like my own working storage variable in the program working storage variable. It will contain the what are the after reformatting this date and time field, it will stored in this working storage variable field. Like I am going to pass this what is the date format. I am just now I received the system time and date. I am going to pass into the screen means string date is outdate means what is my new formatted date format, delimited with size into msg1, and this time again I am passing cursor position 80 and send control message means, and these are like output, it will so send to the screen. Similarly, what is the date operation? Similarly, I am going to format the time operation. Time, what is the system time? TST time. How many characters the system time contains means you can able to see the TST time here. A TST timestamp, I am giving a nice 9 of 15 comp 3. You can able to remember the TST time is ABS ask time, ABS time, TST time. TST time, T stamp and exit, and format time ABS time. I am going to format TS stamp, and time separator I am going to use nothing like a system defined time separator. These are like a format of the time, and 11 is colon 45 colon hours, minutes and second. These are like a format of the system time. I am going to format time separator. Here I will use like a time. I am moving to output variable out time. What is an out time variable here? I define here like a x of 8. It like a stored 8 characters 2 characters and 2 characters and 2 characters, total 6, and 2 characters is for delimiters. Total 8 characters is stored into out time field. Similarly, I am passing into the same like earlier how I am going to send the system date, and I am passing to the same like system time to the screen. And here like what is the ask time? Ask command update the system time update clock, like a what is the system time CICS time of clock, it will take the system time. It also update the EIB time, EIB date, which otherwise would reflect the timestamp when the task initiated. What is the difference between ask time and EIB time? Ask time nothing but a system time, and EIB nothing but task initiated time. This is the main question, guys. They sometimes the interview may ask what is the difference between ask time and EIB time. Ask time nothing but a system time. We can able to format in the program, and we can able to get the what is the current system time. And EIB time nothing but what is the task initiation of the time. Both are different. Sometimes may be same. And these are like some of the format. It will support the system format time, support the 4 character years in the we can able to do in the here like a format time. I want to particular these are like a format different ways of the time, then we can able to mention here format. These are like a system format, it will support 4 characters year and DDY Julian characters, and these are like some system support. These are like formats. That's all, guys. These are like first till now today for the topic have been covered, but tomorrow I will cover the most on the program preparation, how the CSS testing will do from the commands. We will cover more on the topic, but day by day small topics we will cover. That's all, guys, for today. If you like my content, please share to your colleagues and friends to get like a how the CSS system is working. Mainly this is like a in current trend CSS is one of the big language we'll use. Most of the application in banking, insurance, healthcare project having CSS is one of the application knowledge is required. It will ask in the interview also how the CSS is working. If you like my content, please share your colleagues, and please subscribe my channel and encourage my channel. Thank you, guys.